Greetings, the Astro 30 here, and today I'm going to show you how to shield the internal electronics of a bass guitar from picking up noise. Now, I've already shot the video and I've done the intro last. It didn't really go as expected and it's still a bit noisy, but I reckon it's because of the cheap pickups that are actually on the bass guitar that are causing the problem. Anyway, I'll let you have a look at the video and see what happened. If your bass is doing this and can be cured like this, then it's a shielding issue. If, however, you're touching the screens and it produces a buzzing noise like that, then it's a grounding issue, which this video is not going to help you. So you need to determine between the two. In this case, it's a shielding issue. What this basically means is the strings on the bass guitar are acting like antennas, and so they're picking up static and RFI, which stands for radio frequency interference. And the way you cure it, here inside the pickup housing you're going to run some copper conductive tape, then a little wire to the grounding side of the circuitry in here, and you're also going to shield inside the control area. Now at the moment the instrument is laying down on some towels to try and protect the finish of the instrument as best as possible. Now if we turn over the guitar, at the back here you'll notice there's this plate which you're going to have to remove, which gains access to the controls inside the body of the guitar, and you're also going to have to run some conductive copper tape around the inside of that as well. Now I've never tried this before, but I've heard that it gives great results, and they actually make tape specifically for this job. The particular tape I've got comes from Arthur's guitar shop in Cherrybrook, New South Wales, and this is just basically what it is. It's copper conductive tape. Now I don't know if you can actually solder to this. It'd be handy if you can. I'm going to try and experiment with that and see if you can. But basically all we're going to be doing is lining the inside of the pickup housing and the control housing areas with that tape and grounding the two together to form a ground plane or a shield. And now would be a very awesome time to actually change the strings, but I'm not going to, but I am going to undo them and get them out of the way so I can get the pickups out. So I'm just going to take the strings off of their machine heads, and that's the strings out the way. With the strings out the way, I can now go about undoing the pickups. They're just held in by two screws. This is a single pickup, and they're fairly long screws, as you can see there. Okay, with the screws removed, I can carefully just lift up the pickups. I'm going to lay them down as they went. This one goes in this side over here. You can sort of tell by the length of wire on it. And this one went in there. Avoid laying them down on the actual pickup surface itself. So what I'm going to need for this job is a piece of standard hookup wire. This is for grounding between the pickup housing and the main body housing, plus a pair of scissors to cut the tape with, and obviously the copper conductive tape. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pass this wire up into the body area through the hole where the pickup wires go, so that's all ready to go. And then I'm going to cut out strips to lay in the bottom of this area here, and then I'm going to run copper strips around the side. It's very technical. I'm not going to show you me doing it, I'm just going to do it and then come back. I found the easiest way to deal with this stuff is because it's very thin and will curl up when you peel off the backing tape, is to peel off a little bit of the backing tape first after you've cut it to size. Sort of doing things a little backwards here. I was going to pass the wire up first, but I changed my mind. So this way I can get my copper strip started in the hole first and in position, and then I can just peel off the backing tape whilst smoothing it down at the same time. Like that. Don't worry if it looks a bit messy and crinkly like that, that's perfectly fine, because when you do the sides you're going to overlap them over the bottom piece, so the whole thing becomes conductive like a cage. And it also helps to use a measuring tape and measure what it is you're doing. So I'm going to need to know how high I need to make that, and about 16 mil to the top of the body. So I'm going to need at least a 5mm overlap on my copper strip. So if it was 16 high, I'm going to have to make it 21 high. So, but these bits can come in useful too, so don't discard them. And a little time later, this is what you end up with. Don't worry too much about the way it looks, because the pickups will hide it anyway. All it has to do is provide a continuous shield or continuity all around the entire copper. And I did just find out that it is solderable too. So I've already got my wire shoved up the pickup hole into the body of the guitar, ready to go. So all I have to do is cut it to size and just solder it to the base here somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to leave myself enough wire here to work with. Going to strip the end of the, if I can. That was harder than it needed to be. Tin my wire. I'm going to tin the inside of the pickup housing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it down roughly where the gap between the two pickups is going to be. Well, I should say the two halves of the same pickup. Just a little bit there, not too much. Pass my wire back up through the hole. And there we go. That's now that part done, as fiddly as that was. But now I can go about putting the pickups back down in the hole. One of these screws doesn't do all the way up. The hole wasn't drilled deep enough, I don't think. Now that I've finished there, I can go about reattaching the strings. I'm not going to tune it, I'm just going to tighten them so they're not flapping around. Now would be a good time to see if the pickups still work. Yeah, they still work. Alright, now the next thing you want to do is get these knobs off, and they're going to be on there pretty tight, so you want to get a flat base screwdriver in there as carefully as you can to help pry up on it. I'm prying at the bottom of the knob, not the guitar body. There we go. That was harder than was necessary, but it does come off. Now with the control knobs carefully removed, I'm going to carefully just undo the lock nuts on the pots. I'm not going to take them off all the way yet, just so that they're loose and I can grab hold of them with my fingers to undo them. As you can see, I'm carefully using pliers against the body of the bass because I do not want to scratch it. Next I'm going to flip it over onto its front, and I'm going to want to take this panel off. Now, this is the inside. This is the wire coming from the pickups that I've just installed, which is going to have to solder to a ground point, either the back of these controls or, well, I won't get it to the socket in there. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew the socket from the side here and pull it out without having to undo it. That'll make it a lot easier. And then I'm just going to unscrew the pots from the other side and pull them out the way, and then line the inside of that with the copper. There should be enough left there to do the job, I hope. In an ideal world, I'd probably line the inside of this with copper as well, but it's not an ideal world. As I said, I'm going to unscrew the socket directly from here, because it just seems like an easier alternative. There's the socket exposed. Just has to flap out the way. I'm going to want to undo the pot nuts now and take the washer off so I can pass them out the other side. Just be careful of the wiring and such. You just want to get them out of the way. And whilst you're in here, if you've got a soldering iron anyway, just check that the joints are all good, so you're not going to have any problems. I'm just going to bend those up out the way as best as possible, which is kind of awkward because the wires aren't long enough. What else is new? Probably might have been beneficial for me to take the socket off. Actually, I might do that. Seems much easier now, in retrospect, undoing the socket nut and washer and passing the socket back the other way. Now there's an earth here, or ground, which goes up another separate hole, which I believe goes to the bridge, to earth the bridge. So be careful you don't break that wire. I'm going to concentrate on lining the bottom of that as best as I can with some copper, and then lining the sides. Alright, now that's about the best I'm going to get it. I've even tried to get some up into the input socket hole, but as long as it's a continuous amount all the way around, and that the pieces overlap with each other so it gives continuity when you measure from one end to the other, which it does, then all is good with the world. Now I'm going to have to poke holes out for where the controls go, and I can just use my flat blade screwdriver and just poke and rip around, or a Stanley knife, utility knife, if I knew where it was, but I don't, so I'll just do it this way and get rid of the dags around the hole. Now I can pop the output socket, I should call it, not input socket, out through the hole, maybe. Came out that hole, doesn't want to go back through that hole, there it goes, and pop my controls back in. First thing I might as well reattach is this bracket for the socket. And I'm going to do it up evenly as possible to pull it in even, so it doesn't end up cocked to one side. You don't have to go over tight with these screws because you will strip the holes out. That's it there. Now with the base flipped back over on its back, I'm going to first start putting the pot nuts back on and gently, very gently, do up the nuts until they're tight. Don't want them over tight, just tight enough to stop them spinning around. And now that they're tight, I can pop my knobs back on. Doesn't matter which way around they go, there's no dial marking on them. Just push them on like that. Like that, make sure it still rotates, flip it back over. So now I'm going to have to deal with this ground wire. Now I'm thinking the best place to earth it would be on the back of these pots, where that one is there, rather than trying to solder it to the shield here, because you really want to be as in a star earth pattern as possible. The best place would have been up here on the earth of the socket, but that's not going to be exactly possible. So I'm going to earth it to here on that solder joint. It doesn't need to be very long, so I need about that much, and then yeah, I'll just solder it to there. The pots will earth to the shielding, and this will earth to the pickup shielding. Give myself a little bit of extra length there. I'm trying to get you in a reasonable position so you can see what I'm doing, but that is awfully difficult. Try and keep out of the way of the camera as best as possible, but it's really awkward. All I'm going to do is just heat that joint. And get the wire to join to it. And then I'm going to put the panel back on. I actually ended up using all of that copper shielding, so it was just enough. Maybe a little bit too little. Both these screws are the same, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'm going to do that up. Do that one up. And the job's finished. So I don't know if this really made any difference. I think it's the pickups here making more noise than anything else. But I am getting a buzz out here from somewhere, I don't know where. Well, that proved challenging and also didn't seem to cure the overall problem. However, I just went and tested it on another amplifier which is not exposed to whatever noise source it's picking up at here, and the noise does tend to be a lot less than it was before. So that is actually a win. Could have been better, like it could have been shielded on the back of that panel that goes across the back of the control stack there. That would have given it an enclosed copper box, but I just did not have enough of the material. All in all, it worked. It used to make clicking and popping noises when you used to touch the strings, which was also very annoying during recording. It doesn't seem to be doing that now, so I'm very happy about that. Also, when tightening the controls back up, make sure that none of the terminals on any of those pots come into contact with the copper shielding, or else it will short it out. I actually had to take the back panel back off and readjust the tone control, because as soon as I rotated it for low tone, there was no sound, it just cut out. Also, I had to remove some of the copper from the inside of where the socket goes, because it was making contact with the hot wire and shorting it out. So all in all, this has been mainly an experiment just to see if the theory works. It does, and if you want to try it, go right ahead. There's nothing to lose except some time. But if you enjoyed this video, please remember to rate, comment and subscribe. And you can catch me on Facebook and Twitter at the Astro30. Always like new likes on Facebook. Anyway, this is the Astro30 saying goodbye. Have a great day.